gonna start on your right in the back there with Aslan.
Okay, bet.
Rylan, welcome to Tallahassee.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you.
What kind of questions as a defensive lineman did you have about like a 3-3-5 defense, and what's it look like on the chalk and in the film so far for you?
For me, it's just like versatility and being able to move from one spot to the other, because I have the ability to play, linebacker and come off the edge, and just certain situations. And I feel like when I heard about that, it's just like freedom. Like when I have freedom and I have versatility, I can go and play and win for the team. So, yes, sir.
Ira?
How do you guys work? Do you pretty much only meet with Coach Nick or both he and T-Knight, or how does that work?
So with us, we work as a team together first, player-led team always, and then T-Knight and then Nick too, because I'm an edge, I'm a jack, so kind of more with Nick's side, but T-Knight be helping us too. So it's kind of all together because the D tackles and ends be together, but then you have jacks like me, Jalen, all the younger cats. We be with Nick mainly because he's focused more on we're gonna start dropping, start doing our own stunts and stuff. So mainly Nick and T-Knight. So yeah.
Brendan, here on your left.
When you talk about versatility, I guess what does that look like? Is that lining up at different spots on the
Yeah.
field, doing different? I guess, what exactly is that?
Like versatility, when I say that, is you can see me, I might mess around, be guarding a receiver, or coming off the edge, or in a 3-point stance, or just linebacker stance. When I say versatility, is just having more eyes on me on film, being able to be reliable off the edge in a linebacker stance, or just doing whatever. So yeah, yes, sir.
Ian?
Your relationship with Nick as a coach, what has he done for you? I know on your visit you guys were close, and then just kind of how important is he to that room?
Man, he's done a lot because, coming from, he had A&M experience, and I all of our old coaches, and I went to A&M, so he already knew what the deal was and how he coaches and how he carries himself. And I feel like we talked over the phone, and once we came in person, it clicked because he knows, he was an edge rusher himself back in college, so he knows what to do, all the tools and keys. I put my trust into him, and I felt very comfortable being with him and trusting the process and being here at Florida State.
Brendan?
That was faster than I expected. What was your journey to restarting playing football, if I remember correctly?
Restarting playing football?
Yeah, in high school
Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You knew where I was going.
So my journey, I didn't play football till senior year of high school. I was a hooper, didn't have too much looks. I was super athletic, and I remember going to, I did track too, ended up jumping in track. One of the coaches see me, they started jokingly naming schools that I can get offers in. And I was like, I might as well just try football out. And then boom, senior year, I ended up going off. And all these schools started hitting me up, Texas, Cali schools, all that schools started hitting me up, and I started taking it more serious. And then boom, A&M hit, and then that's when I started taking football serious. Well, I took it serious, but I just knew football was a route for me. So my football journey was it wasn't short because I don't regret nothing. Even I always be I wish I would have played earlier, but then now that I think about it, I still learn from new stuff, knowing that I saved my body from a lot of hitting and just different stuff and learning quicker.
Ira?
Are any of the veteran defensive linemen have been helpful just kind of getting used to being here?
Oh yes, sir. You talking about the older kids, the people that's been here. Oh yeah, Deontay, Tay, all them. They definitely it felt like home when I got here. They taught me everything. Even though I'm old, I'm still not old, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning the process of adjusting to this new environment, which is a great environment here, and just knowing plays. It wasn't I came in here and hating this, hating that. It's just it felt like a team. It felt like a family. So all the veterans, they're cool. They, it made it feel like home here.
Chris?
On that subject, a guy like Tay Diggs, who plays a similar role as you, what has he told you about what the role demands, and also how much are you guys kind of learning side by side with Nick being Nick a bunch?
So with the role, he just told me as a jack, I talked about being versatile and just being able to play everywhere and being versatile, because the way that we run it here is just, we play free, we go make plays, and what he taught me is just to go play. If you play hard, we're gonna win, we're gonna do it right. If you do anything right, we're gonna make it big. And playing side to side, we didn't really talk about that, but I know we got each other's backs no matter what. It's not just us, it's the whole team. So we got the young cats, we got Jalen, we got the whole D-line. So when it comes about us playing together, we just keep it simple, match our standards, and go win.
Brendan?
For you, what's important to kind of take the next steps in your game? What are things that you want to work on here?
So for me, my importance is probably being able to prove that I can play the run too. Even I'm athletic and fast, I can play the run, but I want to show people that I can do everything. I want to be reliable. I'm versatile, I'm super athletic, but I want to be able to prove that I can do whatever. Set the edge, sack, dropping coverage, do everything. Be reliable, special teams, all that. Because I play special teams too, and I tell people special team win game also. So just proving to everybody that, well, I don't gotta prove, but I know like in my heart that I'm confident I can do what I need to do, but just to show people that I'm really him. So yeah.
Liam?
You mentioned some of the young guys on the D-line. What have your impressions been of the Desir twins so far since coming to campus?
They've been good. Like hearing how they made like All-American, all that stuff. Like it's really like inspiring because seeing them is just like when I was their freshman, I was never like that. So seeing them, I always told them they got a head start to everything. They putting the work in and just they're not too cocky. They're none of that. They're just regular athletes, players. They don't try to act like they're better than anybody else. They're just good teammates. So I feel like when I see them, they're just motivating all of us to work hard and push harder because no matter what you win, no matter what trophy, what accolade you get, like we all together as a team, we all still playing. Once we get on the field, we're gonna work. So that's what I really like about them too. Not even just them, the whole freshman. So yeah.
Corey?
So you didn't play football at all as a little league kid or anything?
Well, okay, I played flag, but then I stopped playing like elementary school. I didn't really play like tackle for real. I was straight hooping like AU tournaments, traveling far and far. Like, I wish I would have played earlier because I loved like football. I loved it. Once I put the pads back on in high school, I never played. Look ahead, people was questioning me like, why is he playing football? All these basketball players, they gonna come in once they get hit, it's over. They gonna come back to basketball. But it was the opposite for me because most basketball players, once they transfer over to football, they receivers, but I'm playing linebacker, outside linebacker. They're like, oh, he trying to hit for real. So it's like, yeah, I didn't play till senior year.
So what, I guess number one, was basketball career not quite going the way you wanted as far as getting college attention? And then what was it like to get on a football field?
So for college, like the college route, it was kind of hard. Like nowadays, man, like I didn't say I could develop wrong, but I could have like got developed better as a basketball player. I was so athletic and strong. Like my coaches like played me as a 4 or 5, and I could like bring the ball up. I had a bag and everything, and I had like schools looking at me. They didn't really offer. It was too late, and I was already telling them I'm moving to football. So they stopped kind of like leaning towards me. So when it came to that, like I knew once I got to college. Nowadays you got 6'7", 6'8" point guards. Like why be that when I could be a 6'4", 6'3" like athletic freak on the field? So once I made the decision, I went to football, and once I put the pads on, I was like, dang, I really got pads on. I was nervous at first. I'm like, hold on, this is a whole new environment, a whole new look, because I'm playing football now, and everyone sees me as a basketball player, so I have to prove myself to like everybody that I can play football. So that whole journey for the first 2 months when that happened, it was just a shocking like experience. But then once I got the feel for it, once I started doing pass rush moves and actually like hitting and striking people, I'm like, oh, this is easy. Like no offense, I'm not saying people was bad. It was just like for me, I'm like, I could have been doing this when I was little. I wish I would have done that. So it was a smooth process transferring over.
Ira?
Do you, I'm sure when you were preparing for it, you saw a lot of them. I don't know if you saw him on the field with Trey. We just talked to Trey. When you guys went up against them, like what was your impressions of him, and you guys still talk it all about?
You talking about Texas?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not gonna. I remember that long yard run he ran. It was crazy. But I feel like for us, you know, that's the rival. I'm not with Texas A&M no more, but that was always a rival, like the orange and maroon. And I feel like just preparing, because you know how the environment is anywhere. Like even this stadium is a bit. I know the environments. We got rivals and stuff. It just with me and how I had to face Texas, just being locked in and knowing my assignments and just knowing to play. And obviously he was on the what's it called? The scout look, like knowing who to watch out for, like him and Arch and everything. So I feel like warming up and preparing for him, it was like a big deal because it's Texas and that's our opponent. But we talk about it still, like even though he got the last one on us, it's just like dang. But it's all good. We have Florida State now, so yeah, go Seminole.
Brendan?
So when you started playing high school football in high school, it was a coach who was like, hey man, you should come out and
Yeah,
try?
so I'm gonna shout him out actually. It was two of them. It was Coach Shep and Coach Wiz. But for track, his name's Coach Wiz. I did high jump. I jumped 6'11". I got the school record. And I know I look way skinnier than I used to be. I was like 180, 170. That's still kind of big for high jump, but I was out there because I wanted to play receiver at first, but we had too many receivers at senior, and we had no outside linebackers. So I ended up jumping, like doing warm up, like called the Fosbury flop and everything. It was like a 6'6" jump, and everyone was like, "Where he come from?" Because you know, football coaches coach track, basketball coaches don't really be out there. And I jumped it. He was like, "Whoa, who is this kid? Let's just get him on the field." And I was like, I don't know, it's been a minute since I was like little. And he started naming school. Well, he didn't start naming schools, but I think he told the other coach about it. And then Coach Shep, my old DC at Mansfield Lake Ridge, he would start naming schools like Tech, Baylor, A&M, Texas. And he started laughing, talking about, I can get you there. And I was like, man, I'll see. And then ever since then, like the next year I didn't do spring ball because I did spring ball basketball. But then after that, I did summer ball football. And once I got into like knowing my groove and the techniques, I was like, okay, I can really play for real. And then our first game, I had like 3 sacks. I was like, dang, yeah, this my sport for real. And I ended up getting a D2 offer, and then boom. Yeah, they was shocked. I'll never forget. I jumped 6'6", ended up breaking the record 6'11" later, but they was like, yeah, you gotta come play football. They didn't like force me, I don't make it seem like they made me play, but I wanted to switch over.
I assume I know the answer to this, but your first like time with contact, hitting someone with pads on, was that you doing the hitting, or was there like a lot?
Surprisingly,
How
it
did
was
that
me.
work?
My bad. Surprisingly, it was me, because I'll never forget, it was a puller coming, because I didn't learn about pulling and all that stuff. Like, I used to think like, okay, we just set the edge, we don't gotta worry about nobody coming towards us. I came, all my coach said was dent, spill. I'm like, okay. I listened to him, and I don't know robot stuff, but I looked, boom. I was like, okay, this is not even bad. And I had my mouthpiece and everything. I'm like, football not that bad, so I might as well just keep playing. So I'm thinking like, I'm finna get hit like bad, but I forgot I'm a DN. I'm already tall and kind of bigger than everybody, so it's like, it was nothing that fazed me when I got my first hit. Now college though, that was a different story. I mean, that's a whole different year. First college hit was crazy, but yeah.
Peter?
Kind of follow up with that. I mean, you mentioned your first hit, but do you
Yeah.
remember like your first official sack and how was that feeling?
My first official sack. So when it came to like at A&M, we had so many dogs, and I knew I had to keep on working to actually like play or get in that rotation. So it was LSU blackout night, and I'll never forget Nessmeyer was right here, because I sacked him twice the same year after that, my junior year, the same way. He pulled to the left, and I came off the left side, and I'll never forget, it was towels everywhere, it's loud and stuff. They start playing music, came off the edge, first set, and I started doing my little dance, like the little dance. It's on video, but I was just happy, man, because the stuff I went through and just playing, not giving up, knowing who's in front of me, first rounders, like Cassius House, shout out to him. He was a dog to me. He taught me a lot of stuff, and just being behind them dudes and trusting the process, it was a good like feeling getting my first set.
Any other questions? Okay.